There's something interesting about C.S. Lewis and what I'm experiencing. I'm reading a book right now by Devin Brown called A Life Observed, a spiritual biography of C.S. Lewis. And for years, I've been looking for a book like this, because every book that I would come along, he would talk about his intellectual prowess, his books, his fame. Everybody likes to think about how powerful he was with his mind. No one ever thought about what he is as a man in his heart. I wanted to know who he was down here. I wanted to know who C.S. Lewis was at his heart. I wanted to know what he looked like when he was in the presence of God. I wanted to know what he looked like spiritually. So I finally came across this book. And I mean, of course, this interest and this curiosity was sparked a couple of years ago. I was reading Mere Christianity, and I was sitting down, and it was fall time, and the door was open, so the breeze was coming in, and the fall leaves were dancing into the room, and it was just a really magical setting in the first place. But I picked up the book and I started reading. I don't even remember what I was reading, but this presence of just an unquenchable joy came over me. I couldn't explain it. I didn't know what was happening. It was the Holy Spirit prompting me, letting me in on the inside scoop of C.S. Lewis. Because the Holy Spirit knew C.S. Lewis, and the Holy Spirit knows me, so he's a mutual friend. And this is just the Holy Spirit saying, hey, you know about C.S. Lewis? You know about Jack, which is what his name was. And I'm like, yeah, I know about Jack. And he's like, okay, well, this is what he's like. And he just started telling me about what Jack was like. And I have an image in my head of what this man was like. That even in the book, it says that in so many words, the central theme, the central story of his life was the pursuit of these encounters called being surprised by joy. He would call it surprised by joy. I come to believe that they were encounters with the presence of God. This is a guy who was in World War I. I mean, so he had some pain. He got, he stepped on a landmine and almost got half blown up. He walked with a limp and a cane for the rest of his life. And he always had pain in his leg because of that wound. It never fully healed. And everybody under him died. He watched everyone die. And they were all teenagers. He wasn't even 22 yet when he was watching all of this. He was in the trenches of World War I. So of course, and he had this story of his mother dying when he was 5, and his father was a very cold person. So I mean, this is a guy who really understands pain. I think that he felt like he needed these experiences to survive, and that's why it became a central theme in his life. Just the pursuit of these encounters that he would call being surprised by joy. Knowing the Holy Spirit.